What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles in the Love Cup, and as always, whenever we have a limited meta, you can bet I'm going to run a triple dragon theme team, and it's somewhat fitting for this cup since it's the Love Cup, and I absolutely love running dragon types. Anyways, the team is Turtonator, Draudigon, and Rock Throw Tyrantrum, which completely shuts down Talonflame and other fire types, as well as Ariados, which are all fairly common in this meta, but it really struggles up against the fighters. However, if you wanted to be cheeky, you could opt to run Charm as the fast move, and potentially use it as a safe swap to bait out something like a Scrafty and then completely shut it down. But you guys know I'm not a fan of Charm, so I won't be trying that, but it could work for you. With that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What is your favorite typing to use in these limited metas, and what is your favorite limited meta to use that typing in? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. So going into the first battle, leading Turtonator into Ariados. So my team does pretty well into Ariados. The opponent's going to say swap into Clefable, and I'm not going to swap out of here. I've still got Tyrantrum, which will do very well into the Ariados. We're just going to stay in. We take neutral damage with the Turtonator up against this Clefable. I'm going to farm up to 100 energy, fire off the overheat, and the opponent is going to shield the first charge move. However, even with that debuff to our attack, we've put them into a range where a debuffed overheat will still get the KO there, and we're able to take out Clefable. The opponent is going to come in with Talonflame. We're going to swap straight away into Tyrantrum, and those rock throws absolutely eating that Talonflame alive. We can just safely shield up whatever they throw here on the Ariados. We shield up a lunge. They debuff my attack, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to boost it straight away with the Meteor Beam. Meteor Beam grabs the final shield. We still get that rock throw farm down. They come back in with the Talonflame. 2 more rock throws. We take out the Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death, as Jamie Finn likes to call it, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, see Clefable in the lead, so again, this is where we want to see it. We are taking neutral damage from the fairy typing. I'm going to shield the first charge move as the opponent is going to full send the Moonblast there. We're now going to go for a Dragon Pulse bait here. Honestly, I don't really need to bait, but we're going to grab the shield anyway, so it works out for me. At this point, I'm going to double shield. I just need to get rid of this Clefable, so they go for a Moonblast. Moonblast is going to grab my final shield there. We're now going to full send the overheat as the opponent swaps into a Licky Licky. Overheat is going to connect. We can now swap into our Draudigon, and of course they can throw anything here. Apart from a Hyper Beam, we can live anything, and we just barely hang on there. I'm actually going to stop attacking, let them farm me down a little bit just so I don't give that much energy away to the Clefable coming back in. We're going to fire off the Night Slash. Night Slash puts them into farm down range for either Pokemon in the back. We are going to wait out the switch shot come in with the Turtonator, and they've got a Skeledirge in the back, but because they swapped out there, they're 1 turn behind. I go for 2 Incinerates, fire off the Dragon Pulse. We now swap into Tyrantrum, and can Tyrantrum actually live a charge move here? The opponent is going to full send a Shadow Ball, which actually does slightly more damage than a Disarming Voice, but we just barely hang on. We get the farm down, we come out with a Crunch loaded, and Crunch gets the KO up against Clefable, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's top on there. Into next battle, we see Medicham in the lead. So again, kind of where we want to see it here. We don't want it aligned to our Tyrantrum at all costs. So we are going to stay in here. The opponent throws on very poor timing, giving me a full Incinerate in for free. They full send the Dynamic Punch there. I'm now going to throw immediately just because we are at 100. Well, we are at 100 energy. Overheat gets the KO there. They then swap into my Cargo. We're going to come in with the Draudigon and go straight for a Dragon Claw here, throwing before they do reach a Rock Tomb. Now, the opponent going to go for 1 extra Incinerate, fire off the charge move, and the opponent goes for the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb, unfortunately, is going to put me into Incinerate farm down range, which is not ideal. But we've got 2 Pokemon that do double resist the Incinerate damage. Unfortunately, they come in with Scrafty, and it's not looking too good for us here. I kind of just have to no shield at this point. It's looking like it's game over, but there's actually a Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch is resisted. We're able to hang on. I bank a Crunch. I swap back into Turtonator, and the opponent no shields there, and that is absolutely huge for me. Now I can shield this. I believe my Cargo does have energy. However, we will reach a Dragon Pulse on the CMP type, winning CMP with the Turtonator. Dragon Pulse grabs the final shield, and remember, Tyrantrum is going to double resist the Incinerate damage. They go for a Rock Tomb. I can go for 2 Rock Throws, fire off the Crunch here. Crunch is going to be enough damage to take out my Cargo, and somehow I'm able to take that game. You can see my IVs are really not good with my Tyrantrum either. I don't have a clue why I built it. I think I built it a very long time ago, back when the Tyrant spawns weren't very common, so I just built whatever I had. But either way, into next battle, we see a safe swap into Medicham, and honestly, The fact that they're say swapping into Medicham immediately probably implies they've got a second fighting type in the back, so honestly, I should be fighting really hard for switch advantage here. However, you're going to see, we go for a Dragon Claw there, I'm then going to throw on the CMP tie here, and it's in my opponent's hands. Do they want to shield? The opponent is going to shield, and at this point, I should just be shielding. I should just play for switch advantage. If they've got Scrafty in the back, whilst we did get very lucky in the previous battle, I'm probably not going to be able to take this game here, so we're going to come in with the Turtonator. We've lost switch advantage. We're now going to go for the Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse is going to connect. It does some decent damage. We then swap. We catch the Rock Tomb onto our Tyrantrum. Rock Tomb going to debuff my attack, but unfortunately, it is a Scrafty in the back, and there's nothing we can do here. They can just counter farm me all the way down, so I just concede the match. But into next battle, we see Scrafty in the lead this time around, so this is fine. We definitely, well, we're avoiding it with our Tyrantrum, which is great, so we're going to go straight for the Overheat. Overheat is going to grab a shield, and then I swap into my Drydagon. Now, the opponent does not throw at the best timing. They're giving me a full Dragon Tail in for free, which means I can now fire off a Dragon Claw straight away. Dragon Claw is going to be shielded. We grab the final shield from the Scrafty already. They've boosted their attack with a power-up punch. A second power-up punch does not get the KO, and unfortunately, we don't quite put them into farm down range before they will reach another charge move here. So at this point, I think I will shield. They are double boosted. It's just another power-up punch, but at some point, I kind of need to start shielding. So I shield that. We're now going to full send the Overheat here, of course. All shields are down on the opponent's end. It does huge damage, and we're just going to stay in, wait for the opponent to throw their energy. So at this point, the opponent goes for a Body Slam. Body Slam does not get the KO. We come in with Tyrantrum, and this will just be another Body Slam, which is resisted by the Rock typing, and the opponent's going to have a Galarian Slowbro in the back, and this should be game over. Of course, we've already got the Crunch loaded. Crunch going to hit for super effective damage. However, I might as well full send a Meteor Beam. A Meteor Beam, one of the best charge moves in the game. It gets the KO up against the Slowbro. One more Rock Throw gets the KO up against the Licky Licky, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG to opponent there. Into next battle, we see Clefable in the lead. The opponent's going to say swap into my Cargo, and we respond with our Tyrantrum. And even if they're running Stone Edge, we can still tank that pretty comfortably. And again, these Incinerates, they are double resisted. They are not hitting very hard at all. However, because they debuff my attack, unfortunately, just barely not able to get that full Rock Throw farm down, which means we fire off the Crunch there. Honestly, I should have recognized I was not going to reach another Crunch up against Clefable, and then just fired off a Meteor Beam instead. But either way, it doesn't really make a difference here. We're going to come in with the Turtonator. They go for a Meteor Mash bait there, which is unfortunate. I'm not baiting. I'm full sending the Overheat right now. Overheat is going to be shielded by Clefable. At this point, it doesn't matter too much just because still an Overheat will get the KO here. However, the opponent's going to go for a Moonblast. Moonblast does huge damage. They then swap into a Medicham here. Medicham is going to shield up the Overheat. We come in with our Drydagon, and like the Tyrantrum, really not very good IVs here. However, maybe with that attack-weighted Drydagon, we can go for one charge move and then go for a full farm down. At least that's what I'm hoping for here. That's what I need in this matchup. But unfortunately, Dragon Claw does not put them into Dragon Tail farm down range. I'm forced to go for a last second Night Slash. Night Slash gets the KO there. However, Clefable can outpace me to the charge move now. And of course, Meteor Mash gets the KO there. One more Fairy Wind takes out the Turtonator. And unfortunately, we do lose that game. But GG to opponent there. Into next battle, we see Medicham in the lead. So again, just going to stay in here. This is fine to see it here. We are going to let the opponent throw straight away. They go for 7 counters. Then they fire off the Ice Punch, so they throw immediately there. We're now going to go for 1 extra Incinerate, throwing on good timing, firing off the Overheat here. Overheat is going to be shielded, so I swap into my Drydagon, and the opponent is going to choose to stay in with the Medicham. Of course, they do have Ice Punch. They're going to go for it straight away here, and then they're going to swap into a Lurantis. So this is fine with me. We're going to fire off the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw, it looks like a CMP tie actually. So Dragon Claw is going to be shielded. It is a CMP tie, so this should just be a Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade is resisted damage, which means I can actually go for another Dragon Claw here. And Dragon Claw, it might not get the KO from this range, but it does put them into Dragon Tail farm down range, and we're able to get that farm down. However, the opponent comes back in with the Medicham. They get the counter farm down, and at this point, I'm going to bank the energy, swap into my Tyrantrum. However, I'm going to be forced to use my final shield, so maybe that wasn't the best play. However, they've got a Talonflame in the back. They don't even reach a charge move. We get the full Rock Throw farm down, and then they just concede the match there. So, GG to opponent there. Into next battle, see Lurantis in the lead this time around. So, great lead for us. The opponent safe swaps into Scrafty, but they're actually on Snarl here. So, that is really interesting. and that's actually fine with me, of course. Snarl, not going to do much damage here. These foul plays, they don't really threaten too much either. We're going to full send the overheat once again. Overheat is going to be shielded, and now we can come in with the Druddigon. But because they have 0 fast play pressure here, I can actually no shield this very comfortably, live the foul play, and just go straight for a Dragon Claw. So Dragon Claw will be coming through. Dragon Claw going to be no shielded. We get the KO there, and they come back in with their Lurantis, but this time they will outpace me to the charge leaf as I didn't overfarm at all there. Doesn't really matter. They go for an X-Scissor, which is very interesting. I'd have thought Superpower would probably be the better coverage move, but either way, we come in with the Turtonator. The opponent swaps into Skeledirge, and again, this is going to be game over. We can just safely shield up the charge leaf, go for a full Rock Throw farm down, and there's just nothing they can do here. Rock Throw gets the KO. We can go straight for a crunch here. I could have gone for one extra Rock Throw, fired off the Meteor Beam, but it doesn't really matter. The damage is now done. The opponent recognizing there's nothing they can do, so they just concede the match. So GG to opponent there. Into next battle, we see a Licky in the lead. So we're going to stay in this matchup here, of course. They could have Earthquake, in which case, if they farm up to it, which they do here, I'm going to definitely respect the damage here. The opponent does full send the Earthquake there, which is fine with me. We're now going to go and full send an Overheat. Overheat is going to be shielded by the opponent. We can now swap into Druddigon, and again, I don't think they're going to be running Earthquake and Hyper Beam, so I will no shield this. The opponent just goes for a Body Slam there, but then they catch the Dragon Claw onto a Psywave Mr. Mime, which is really unfortunate, but really cool spice on the opponent's end. We can now fire off a Night Slash here. Honestly, I did think about just going straight for Night Slash anyways, up against that Licky, but either way, unfortunately, they can go for a huge farm down there. We're going to come in with the Turtonator, and honestly, I don't know how much energy they've got. I know they've only got at least 55 energy charge moves, so I swap, I snipe with Tyrantrum, but they can come back in with the Licky. Is this already another Earthquake? Unfortunately, yes it is. It gets the one shot, and they had Talonflame in the back. So in hindsight, if I just let the Turtonator go down there, I could have very easily won this game, but I didn't know there's going to be a Talonflame in the back. Unfortunately, the opponent does reach a charge move here. Whatever they throw, they go for a Brave Bird. It easily gets the one shot there, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. But GG to opponent there. Into next battle, we see Druddigon in the lead. So a bit of a tricky one. We're going to stay in, go for one Incinerate, then swap out. And that means the opponent is forced to throw on alignment. So they get off 2 Dragon Tails up against our Druddigon, but we got off 3 Dragon Tails there. So we deal more damage, then swap into Ariados. We go straight for a Dragon Claw there. Dragon Claw is going to connect, and at this point, they throw immediately. So I realize we can let the move go through. Lunge will be taking us out. We can come in with our Turtonator. They're not going to reach another charge move as we go for a full Incinerate farm down. We come out with a charge move loaded, and I'm actually going to swap into my Tyrantrum, go for the Rock Throw farm down there, and the opponent's going to have a Galarian Slowbro in the back. So we go straight for Crunch here. There's no point full sending a Meteor Beam. They're going to shield anyways, but Crunch is going to drop their defense, and the opponent does not commit to a full farm down there, which is absolutely fine with me. At this point, we come back in with our Turtonator. We go straight for a Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse should be grabbing the final shield from the opponent, and it does exactly that. And at this point, we can just safely shield whatever they throw. They're not going to reach back-to-back charge views, and even if they did reach back-to-back Brutal Swings, that would not be enough damage, but we can full send the Overheat now. Overheat, of course, gets the KO there, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG to open there. Into next battle, we see Galarian Slowbro in the lead this time around. So, we are going to stay in this matchup here. Usually, I did just stay in any neutral matchup with my Turtonator. At least full send an Overheat before swapping into my Druddigon. So, we are going to see a Brutal Swing coming in. They're then going to swap into a Licky. And again, we're just going to go straight for the Overheat here. We kind of need the damage. The opponent is going to shield, however. So, we come in with the Druddigon. We go straight for a Dragon Claw here, and Dragon Claw is going to connect. It does some okay damage there. It's really the Dragon Tails that add up, but either way, we're going to no-shield. They full send a Shadow Ball, but the opponent is going to throw another Charge Move immediately, and this is fine with me. We're going to no-shield. They go for a Body Slam there. We can come in with either Pokemon, but I think I will be coming in with the Tyrantrum here, committing to a Rock Throw farm down. I don't think they're going to reach another Shadow Ball, so I'm going to no-shield this. Hopefully, it is just the Body Slam, and that is resisted damage. We get the Rock Throw farm down. They come back in with the Slowbro, and at this point, I'm thinking, you know what? If they're coming in with the Slowbro, they might be weak to the Tyrantrum in the back, so I'm actually going to overfarm here, fire off the Meteor Beam. I'm feeling like it's going to be a Fire type in the back, and they shield, so at this point, it is pretty clear. They are so weak to Tyrantrum in the back. They go for Brutal Swing, but no, they've actually got a Loma Mola, and that is not really a problem at all, and unfortunately, we're going to be losing this game here. I was so certain that it was going to be something super weak to Tyrantrum in the back, and unfortunately, that was not the case. They can Waterfall, farm me down, and we end up losing that game. But GG so far there, into next battle, we can see a Talonflame in the lead. So going to say swap into my Draudigon just because I kind of want to align my Tyrantrum to the Talonflame there, and they come in with a Licky. So this is fine with me. We're going to go straight for the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is going to connect, and now at this point, I can guarantee alignment here because I can just double shield if I really want to. They're going to go and full send a Shadow Ball. I'm going to throw here as they reach the next Shadow Ball. I think I should just barely live a Shadow Ball. However, I'm actually not certain, so I'm just going to play it safe here. Use my final shield. The opponent goes for the Shadow Ball there, and we're able to shield that up, go for the Dragon Tail farm down, and they actually come back in with the Talonflame. So that is very interesting. I'm going to go straight for the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is going to grab the final shield. The opponent committing to a farm down here, and I'm able to reach another Dragon Claw. So unfortunately, Tyrantrum not really able to do what it's there to do and completely destroy the Talonflame, as the opponent just lets me take them out there pretty much with my Draudigon. But now we can come in with the Turtonator, completely shut down Electro. They can go for Swift. It doesn't do too much damage. They're actually going to go and full send a Wild Charge now, which does do more damage, but it doesn't matter. We can still tank that very comfortably. Go for the Overheat. Overheat gets the KO there. We swap into Tyrantrum. We catch the Charge Move. It doesn't really make a difference. Fly is resisted. One Rock Throw takes out the Talonflame, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG top there, into next battle, see a Bruxish in the lead. So again, I'm actually going to stay in for one Incinerate, then swap into my Draudigon, and that's going to allow me to get a full Dragon Tail in for free as they do reach that first charge move. They go for a Psychic Fangs there, which is fine with me. I can now go for a Dragon Tail, fire off the Night Slash immediately. Night Slash is going to be shielded by the opponent, and at this point, we put them into a range where we can actually come in with the Turtonator and just go for a resisted Incinerate farm down. So that's what we're going to go for here. We are going to let the Draudigon go down, come in with the Turtonator, get that farm down, and let's see what the opponent wants to do. They come in with another Licky, so going straight for Overheat once again, and then I think I will just swap straight away into my Tyrantrum, and let's see what the opponent wants to do. The opponent is going to overfarm massively, and at this point I'm definitely going to respect the damage from a potential Earthquake, and the opponent baits with a Body Slam, but they do throw it immediately, so this should just be a Shadow Ball. It is the Shadow Ball. It does do a lot of damage, but the opponent's then going to swap and catch a Meteor Beam onto Skeledirge, so I actually undercharged this just to get off one extra Rock Throw. It doesn't really make a difference at all there, as they can still commit to a full farm down, but Turtonator is bulky. We should live a charge move here. We've already seen they're not on Earthquake. They go for the Shadow Ball, but we get the Incinerate farm down, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG so far there, Internet's battle, we see a Shadow Porygon Z, and that is really cool spice from the opponent. Unfortunately, I do not have this Pokemon, and every time I do see it, I mention it, like, I wish we could obtain this Pokemon from Team Rocket Grunts these days. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Occasionally, they bring it back in raids, but, of course, if you evolve it from a level 20 Porygon, then it's just going to be too big. So, either way, really cool spice. You kind of had to play, like, a long time ago and just preserve it back then. And unfortunately, I've not done that. So we're going to see a Wigglytuff coming in, completely shutting down the Draudigon Say Swap. But either way, we go for a Dragon Pulse, grab a shield up against this Wigglytuff. And now I'm definitely also going to shield here. The opponent goes for an Icy Wind, debuffing my attack before swapping into a Shadow Charizard. And here we are going for a huge Rock Throw farm down there. The opponent fires off the Dragon Claw. And then I realize, actually, we need more energy on the Turtonator, so I throw here. I thought that would be enough for us, just giving them one charm for free, but unfortunately that is not the case, because now they should just barely outpace me to the charge move. You're going to see it's super close, one turn in it, but they do outpace me to the Swift, and Swift of course gets the KO there, and unfortunately we do lose that game. So what I needed to do there was actually go for a simultaneous KO rather than getting the KO there before the Charizard farmed me down. But either way, GG's the opponent there. Into the next battle, we're going to see a Wigglytuff coming in, and we're going to go for the Dragon Pulse. This time, it's no shielded by the Wigglytuff. However, because we land that damage, I can now actually shield this, as the opponent just goes straight for a Swift. They don't debuff my attack, so I can actually go for a full Incinerate farm down, coming out with the Overheat loaded, and the opponent comes in with a Loma Mola. So I actually go for the Overheat here. Doesn't really make a difference. Overheat still does some okay damage, and now we can align our Draudigon to the Loma Mola, our Tyrantrum to the Ariados, and despite being down a shield, we should be looking fine here. We go straight for the crunch, oh sorry, the Night Slash there. Night Slash is going to be no shielded, and it's going to be game over at this point. I assume they're going to swap out straight away, so we swap into our Tyrantrum, and you can see these Rock Throws are absolutely chunking this Ariados. The opponent actually goes for a Trailblaze there, boosting up their attack, but we're able to get the Rock Throw farm down, and I should just be able to Rock Throw farm down a Loma Mola, and I'm able to take that game. So GG Turbo there into the final battle of this video, leading into another Ariados, so greatly for me once again. The opponent's going to say swap into a mill tank, and I'm just going to stay in with the Turtonator. I can just let this go. It's just going to be a body slam, so it's not going to do too much damage there. You're going to go for one extra Incinerate, go for the Overheat, and this pretty much always gets shielded, but that's okay. I intend on swapping out anyways. We swap into our Draudigon. This time I will shield, as it could be an Ice Beam, and it is the Ice Beam there, which means I can now overfarm. I'm going to throw a Night Sash just before they reach the next potential Ice Beam. A Night Sash from this range will be getting the KO, but we also get the boost. They come in with a Clefable, and at this point, since we're boosted, they can't just go for a full farm down here. Night Sash gets another boost, and I will force the opponent to throw their energy, which is really nice because this is a matchup where they should completely wall me, but a second Night Sash there would put them into probably one Incinerate farm down range there. So now we come in with the Turtonator. We are going to go for the Overheat. We're just going to guarantee the KO here as we full send the Overheat. Overheat is going to be shielded. We now swap into Turtonator, into Tyrantrum here, and can we live this move? It's just the Swift, which is very nice for me. They come in with the Ariados. They're able to outpace me to the charge move. Can Tyrantrum live this? The opponent goes for lunge. We barely hang on. We reach a Crunch here. Crunch is going to also not get the KO since they debuffed me. It's a simultaneous KO, but one Incinerate gets the KO up against Clefable, and I'm able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.